and they work every single thing they use for their goals. That's why the F in Africa is for family. But here in America, we don't do anything for our goals. We do anything for our pleasure. So you got to get out your comfort zone, do something for your goals.
I feel like you're right.
Hey guys, welcome back to Keep It 99. Here with another episode, Season 2, Episode 3. Hopefully there's more energy in this one than the last, 7. We got Mr. Shervin Tabrizi here with me,
Hello.
fellow Walton student.
Sir.
And a class of a man. We're just talking about how...
I like to sleep in class.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
So Shervin, you're not white.
I'm not.
You're not
No,
white.
No.
You're Persian.
Yes, sir.
It's
And Turkish, but mostly Persian.
Same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm Arab. We'll just go with
Okay.
Arab for simplicity.
Egyptian.
Yeah, for simplicity.
Yeah.
I'm from Egypt. So we know a lot about being multicultural here and
Yes, sir.
as teenagers in America.
Mhm.
So today we'll start with talking about, why is that a good thing? Why is being multicultural such an advantage in modern day society? So what's your answer to that one?
Okay, well, I feel like you just know more. All right, not just that's a very broad answer, but
smarter.
Not really smart. I mean, I guess you could say that, but more culturally appropriate on the other side of the world, and you'll know what's going on the other side of the world. I feel like if you're basically just from here, which is not a bad thing, it's just it's good to know about your surroundings and what's going on in the Middle East and what's going on in Asia and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the advantage that multicultural people have is that they're more in touch with the other half of the world.
Exactly.
Because they have family there, or I'm talking mostly about first, second, third generation.
Okay.
They have family there. They, sometimes you visit,
Mm-hmm.
you go back, you see what it's like. Your parents raise you a certain way that is, as you know, probably completely different. Obviously every region,
Oh, yeah.
it's really weird because everywhere in the Eastern Hemisphere,
Mm-hmm.
other than Europe, they all are raised the same way. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And it's not I think what it does is it builds people who are morally more in tune
Mm-hmm.
with what is actually right and what is actually wrong. There's more objection. There's objective right and there's objective wrong. Whereas here in the West, it's a lot more relative.
Okay. Now I get
Some
what you're
people, what's right for me might not be right for you.
Exactly.
Whereas in reality, what we're both doing is wrong.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There's an objective truth and objective wrong. And I think that can even stem to the fact that religion is more prevalent
Yes.
in the East versus in the West.
Very true.
It's a lot more prevalent. And when you center your life around a religious moral value or belief,
Mm-hmm.
the religion holds a very strong place in a lot of Eastern people's hearts. So they will follow that to the T, and that creates that objectiveness.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the main plus is that in the sense that we know more we're more confident in what is right and what is wrong.
Yeah.
So we're able to make decisions more confident,
I agree. Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
But at the same time, it brings a bad connotation towards the Middle East. Yeah. So they call them extremists in what they believe in, and I don't know how to say this exactly, but they've created a face. Every time that someone talks about the Middle East, it's something bad, or it's something about oil, or it's something about there's way more than that, and it sucks because they're people in Iran, for example, right? They're living in really bad conditions right now, especially with the new stuff that's going on. For example, what I'm talking about, the extreme stuff is a hijab. You know what a hijab is,
Yeah,
right? Yeah. And they take it to the big extreme, and they take away the choice of people to take not wear it, or if they don't want to wear it. If they do, people do like wearing it, right? And there was this lady. She was in her early 20s, and she wasn't wearing it fully. She was wearing it still, though. You could see a little bit of her hair, and she got beat to death by the officers that were enforcing the law. It's a law to wear it over there, which I feel it's a part of their. I think it's a part of the religion that the hijab is being worn. But I feel at some point that's a little extreme. What do you think about that? Do you think
So I'll say this is that, especially in Islamic based countries, including Egypt, they are governed by Islamic law,
Yeah.
right? So it's called the Sharia, and they're governed by Islamic law, literally. Like what the Quran says about this, what Muhammad says about this is this. That's what they live by.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same way if you look at it. Sure, some of the laws are extreme. I'm not going to say they're not. Some of them are very, very extreme. But I have 2 points to make about that. The first one is if you look at, for example, Russia, and you have the Brittany Griner situation,
Okay.
something everyone knows about. There's the laws of the country, and whether you believe in the laws or not, you have to respect them.
Okay.
As a foreigner, as someone who lives there, you have to respect the laws. If you want change, you need to come about it in a respectful, whatever the way of the system of government is, to go through the processes to change the laws.
Okay.
Now, sometimes the processes are hard and they don't work, specifically when it comes to Islamic countries and their law. But you still have to respect it. So, for example, Brittany Griner brought weed into Russia. Sure, it's a small amount, but there is a sentence. Russia, this is their punishment for it. She got the punishment for it.
Yeah.
And obviously people go, oh, it's extreme. Sure, it might be extreme. Whatever your viewpoint on weed or whatever, it might be extreme. However, that's the law.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think that's the first point I want to make is, sure, it might be extreme, but that is what they believe in. And the reason why to them it's not as extreme as to us is because that's what they live in. They live and breathe, especially Islamic countries. They live and breathe their religion.
I have a point to make on that respect
ahead.
part. So when you're saying you have to respect the law, right? Don't you feel like the people enforcing the law also have to respect the people?
Yes, I agree 100%. I'm not defending what they did.
Oh,
I'm
no,
not saying
yeah,
beating her up on the street is
Oh, yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
If there's a punishment, she should be tried and whatever the punishment, fined for this much. That's what they should go by. I'm not saying they should beat her up.
Well, the crazy part about it is like some people have gotten away with it, like not wearing it, and they've just been told to put it back on. But like she got dealt a bad hand and got very unlucky and got a very aggressive officer that
So again, like you have to remember, officers are people. They're not robots. They're going to make mistakes. They're not going to, do exactly what's asked of them. But I'm talking about if you look at specifically what the law says, right? The law has some, I don't know what the punishment is, has some sort of, let's say it's $100 fine.
Sure.
Has some punishment. That should be enforced on everyone. I'm not saying it shouldn't be. It should be enforced on anyone no matter, because they break the law, they break the law. It's simple. I'm not saying she should have gotten beat. Definitely not agreeing with that. However, I'm saying that like you should respect the country that you're in and the laws that. So, for example, if I go to Saudi Arabia and they ask me, I have to be careful how I word this. They ask me like, "Hey, like put your cross away. Like don't have it showing out."
Okay.
Obviously, I have a cross on my wrist, so I can't really do that anything to this one.
Yeah.
But as respect to their country, I should put it away.
Yeah.
However, there's a lot of differing opinions on whether that's denying Christ or not, so I don't want to get too involved in that. But as a rule of thumb, if there's something a country says and it's not that big of an inconvenience, for example, don't bring weed into this country, just don't do it.
Yeah, it's not necessary.
It's not necessary.
Yeah.
The cross, we can argue about that because it's like religious, whatever.
Yeah,
but,
of course. Something as like not necessary like weed, like you can live.
Yeah.
Like they
or
weren't
it's like
even
don't
there
eat certain foods.
Yeah.
Don't eat certain foods.
You can live with that.
Unless you have dietary restrictions, whatever.
Well, that's different.
We're talking about, for the normal person. So I think that's kind of, when we talk about other countries and their laws, like sure, we can talk about how some laws are unfair, but we have to respect the culture, respect the religion, respect the way of life, because in Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Oman, Egypt, Syria, there's no separation between law and between state and religion. There's not. It just doesn't exist. So we can't govern their government in that sense.
I agree. Like on the respect part, yeah, and like how that the country is the way it is, and you can't really change that. But like this goes on to like a different like I'm just talking Iran specifically because I know what's going on, kind of not fully aware, but people are suffering over there, right? And it sucks because like you want to help them, but at the same time it's so hard because like there's so many things against Iran that there's such a bad like connotation. It's not the people. It's like I don't know what to say, like I don't know how to word this, but like it's like the government's putting so many like expectations on the people to follow this, follow that, right? And like it's hard for people to live over there. And like, yeah, what I'm trying to say is like, and then some people are like, they're taking like our rights away, our civil rights away. And like, it got to a point where it was so like, people were so desperate for like money and like food and like hunger basically, that they're trying to like start a revolution kind of thing over there. That's why you'll like, I don't know if you've seen it, but like there's like been like protests, not peaceful. Like there's been like like they've like caught like religious people, like monarchs over there, like on fire, and like higher ups over there, like their statues and stuff like broken down, and just like causing havoc over there. But they're trying to like get their voice heard by the rest of the world, that what's going on over there isn't right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the thing about, from a Western perspective, the thing about Arab countries and Persian countries and countries in that area, the people there live such simpler lives than we do. Oh yeah. Even the higher ups live a simpler life than the average person in America. So I think we need to understand, not saying they're dumber. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Oh, yeah.
What I'm saying is they care about things that are so much more, like simpler. Like they don't care about the luxuries as much. Obviously, you can argue about Saudi princes, but they don't care about the luxury.
We're talking about the average people. Human, yeah.
Average people. They don't care about the luxuries as much. And a lot of that you can attribute to religion. That's a whole other topic, though.
Yeah.
And the thing is that there's also this mob mentality. And mob mentality is proven to bring out violence. It's 9 out of 10 times.
The mob mentality?
Mob.
Okay. Yeah.
It will bring out violence. So people, for example, look at the Arab Spring in 2011 to 2013. All these Arab countries, you see a group of people in one Arab country starting a massive violent revolt. I think it started with Syria. I might be wrong. And it started spreading around. You get to Egypt, like, because obviously Egypt, like, there's violence revolts. People want change. People need something different than what they're already getting.
Exactly.
And so in Iran, for example, like, these people, they don't care about, they don't care about who's in charge. They don't care about economic policy.
Exactly.
They don't care about a lot of them don't understand it. Why? Because they don't care. They're not going to sit through because what's important to them is getting food on the table tomorrow.
Exactly.
What's important to them is providing for their family. What's important to them is worshiping whatever God they worship.
Yeah.
Whatever's important to them is what makes them feel like a human. And in America, we have the luxury of all those things that make us human are at the snap of our fingers.
Yeah, of course.
And we look further and further and further. So when we see all these people, why do they not understand? We're just trying to help them with this, putting this leader in place to get a better economic policy. They don't care about economic policy. Yeah. All they care about is, do I have money to eat? Do I have money? Do I have water to take a shower? That's all they care about.
And the government now is making it so hard on the people to get that. Like, salaries are like, how when there's inflation, the salaries go up. Like, you get more money, but everything gets more expensive.
Sometimes it's not at the same rate.
Yeah.
Which is what's happening in America right now, actually.
But like over there, it's so like it's so drastic. Like, the salary will go down and all the prices of everything will go up. All like the price for food, for water, for like machine, everything. And like that's the main reason of why people can't get food on the table or pay the rent. And that's why people get like so desperate. And it's due to the fact like the government is so like focused on themselves and like their own like kids and stuff. Like, they really don't care about the population is what I think.
And that's the issue with countries that are so unstable like that, is you have to remember the people who are leading you are also people.
Yeah.
Right? They have families. They have people to take care for. And the issue is when the wealth gap between the middle class and not the high class, the middle class and the low class starts to get extreme. The middle class, they still have to live. They still have to make money. They can't just not make money and be fine.
Yeah.
They have to continue to make money. So when the upper middle class, mid-middle class starts getting into these positions of power, they need money. I don't blame them. They need money.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get money, and in the end they push on the poor class, which in turn causes a whole economic, cycle that spirals into absolute collapse.
Yeah.
So there, from a foreign perspective, Iran can't do anything to help itself right now.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Exactly.
Right? There's no way.
Yeah.
From a foreign perspective, as humans, we need to help humans.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that is something that we don't understand. And this is a very big part of this comes to groups like terrorist groups like ISIS, like ISIL, like Al Qaeda, like the Taliban, like those groups radicalize our view of the Eastern world.
Yeah, they take over.
And even if we say, oh, not everyone's like that. If you really dig deep into someone and you ask them, what do you really think about these people? It's not going to be the same thing they think about themselves.
Oh yeah.
And it's honestly really sad to see. And it's like, for example, we were talking earlier about like, you know, you sleep in class, whatever, you know, you don't work at whatever.
Yeah.
We're still both humans. I still respect you in the same way I respect myself, the same way I respect my sister, my parents. I respect everyone at the same level.
Yeah.
Because we're all human. Right. And I think I'm going to plug something really quick. For everyone in the Western world, if you get a chance, you need to go on a mission trip, whether it's a religious mission, whether it's a medical mission, whether it's just a general mission, somewhere outside of the Western hemisphere. Obviously, there's people that need help in South America, but it's completely different when you travel across the globe and you go to places in Africa. Like I went to Zambia right before high school. Zambia, you know, even Egypt, Iran, Ethiopia, Eritrea.
What part of Africa is Zambia in?
It's like south central-ish.
Okay.
It's like right in the middle, like
next to Congo, something like that?
No, it's like south of Congo.
Okay.
It's like right north of South Africa.
Oh, okay,
Like
okay.
directly north, or a couple.
You went as a mission trip or just as a vacation?
I went as a mission trip.
Okay.
I went mission trip 2 weeks. I mean, it's life-changing. It really
Yeah.
is. So if you get a chance, for anyone, you know, you should go because it really opens your eyes for three things. Number one, how grateful those people are. You will never find more grateful people than the people you meet on those missions.
I agree.
They have less than nothing. Like you think about what people in America have as nothing, they're beyond that. They have they don't have shoes. They barely have clothes. They might have food. They might have water, clean water. And their smiles never fade.
Yeah.
When I was in Zambia, I don't think I saw a single person that was not smiling. I really don't think so.
I feel like in America, like when you were bringing up the point, like everything's at the snap of our finger, right? I feel like we get like brainwashed to the fact that we just forget like the simple things in life, right? Like nowadays it's like, oh, how many followers does someone have on social media? Like at the end of the day, does that even matter? Like,
No.
Like it's crazy like how different people see lives because of how they're like living, like their conditions in life. Like sometimes I lose my perspective too. Like everybody does it.
Yeah.
We're all human, right? But like sometimes when I like talk to my family in Iran and they tell us what's going on, and like I've been to different countries in the like Middle East. I've been to Iran, but that was when I was 2 and 4. I don't really remember much. But I went to Turkey, not really recent, like 5-6 years ago, and like it's so much different. It's crazy. Like it's like A to Z, like everything's different. The food, the people, and how they act. People are so much like, I feel like people are so much nicer over there because like they'll see someone from America, they respect the fact that you're American. It's kind of like weird to me. I like they'll say, oh, he's American, like he's more respect. Like I'm like, well, that's like every day, like it will run to like it's. I don't know where I was getting with that, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah, like it's so weird how they see us so high up.
Yeah.
In reality, we're less human than they are.
Yeah, I agree.
And there's two really good ways to humble yourself and really put yourself. Think about the fact there are 8 billion people on this planet. You can't even picture in your head 100,000. I guarantee it. You can't. No. You can't. A sold out stadiums are like 60K, 80K. And imagine if you had all those people standing shoulder to shoulder. They would cover the whole field. More than that.
Yeah.
Imagine what 8 billion people would look like.
It's crazy.
8 billion people, I think this is right. 8 billion people standing no space, shoulder to shoulder, would cover the entire city of LA. And LA is one of the biggest cities square foot wise in America.
That's crazy.
The entire, and maybe it might be 7 billion people. The entire, like, I'm telling, no room to breathe would cover the entire square footage of LA.
Wow.
And then you think about it another way. You as an individual, think about your size compared to this room. Think about your size compared to this whole building. Your size compared to the city of Roswell. Your size compared to the state of Georgia. Your size, you keep going bigger and bigger and bigger to the earth, to the solar system. Jeez, I forgot what that was. Sorry. To the Milky Way, to the millions of galaxies there are out there. And then you think about us to God. God is infinite. Yeah. We can't even understand that. Like, it's crazy to think that we are so wound up about the little things.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to get here on time. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do this. Oh man, if I don't do this, I won't be able to do this. Oh, I won't pass this class. Oh, I won't get an A on this test.
Some people think that's really important though.
I know. Yeah. I'm not saying it's not important. No, please stay in school. Do good. Get good grades.
School.
Go to college. Like if that's your goal. We're gonna talk about that later. By the
that's funny you brought that up.
Like do all that. But what I'm saying is, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
It's not.
No.
It's definitely not the end of the universe. Like, so I think that's like a good way to put yourself into perspective. And then when you think about people from other countries, remember they're human, just like how you're human. They all have their struggles. They all have their weaknesses. And it's not to say that some people's struggles are more difficult than others, but I'm a firm believer that God only puts you through what you can handle.
Okay.
So someone like me who is extremely blessed, I have everything I could ever ask for. I'm born in the church, raised in the church, firm in my faith. I don't have to ever deal with doubting or leaving the church or my family. I have a beautiful family, parents that love me, parents that are still together. Like, I don't have to worry about divorce. I have all these things.
Yeah.
I am the weakest one among a lot of my friends.
Okay.
Because if I was in their place, no way. God only gave me what I can handle. God only gave me the easiest. I have the easiest path through life because I have everything. Whereas people in Zambia, they're the strongest people. People in these countries, they're the strongest people. Because you put one of us in their shoes, there's no way.
Yeah, they're kidding.
God only gives you what you can handle. So all the trials and tribulations that I go through, those people, for them, it's like this. It's not saying that mine is harder or easier. It's just different. But for me, it's hard. For them, it's hard. Right? For them, if they had mine, it'd be easy. For me, if I had theirs, maybe it might be easy. Maybe I'm more economically savvy. I can figure out a way to make more money. But everyone has struggles that are for them. But the more blessed you are, the weaker you are. That's my.
I agree. Like everything, if everything's handed to you, which like, okay, well that's funny I said that because like okay, so I've been through a lot of like situations where like people are, like people call me like daddy's money, right?
Same.
And like yeah,
I got you, bro.
Yeah, it's like I would be nothing without my dad, right? And like he buys everything like this and that, and I've been through a lot. Like I've heard that from many different people, but like at the same time, like it's like I don't know where I'm like I'm going to like a different topic here, kind of, if that's cool. Yeah, like working like throughout like your like schooling, working through school, right? Like I feel like having a job in like through school teaches you a lot more about the world, 100%. Right? Like you'll see like the different side of people that you haven't seen before. Like in school, people act like accordingly because they kind of have to due to the rules. But like when you're outside in the real world, it's free reign kind of thing. And like I have a job. I'm a server at a Persian restaurant at Saffron. Pull up, you know. So I deal with talking to a lot of different people, right? And I feel like that increases your knowledge.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Why do you think I have a podcast?
Yeah, that's like the firm way of like talking to people. Like your job is just to talk, which is a good thing. I feel like Isaiah, like I compare, like I'm not gonna compare you to anybody, but like I feel like when I'm talking to you compared to talking like average Joe Schmo, you're more educated because you know how to talk to people. It's a compliment.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Of course, but like where I was getting at, like to wrap up what we were talking about, like with the other side of the world and us. I feel like, as you said, we are truly, truly blessed and have it easy. And I appreciate my life every single day, like you should. and I appreciate that I have a lot of things that people don't. And I wish that people could have it at the same time. But like I like sometimes I take my life for granted. Sometimes I wish I had this, I wish I had that, I wish I had this. Everybody does that, right? But like at the end of the day, I appreciate my family and I appreciate the things we have, and like I feel like people should notice what's going on the other side of the world instead of like being just trapped in like in the Western type of like they live their way of life, but I feel like at the same time they should like appreciate like what they have compared to what people don't have on the other side.
And watch this segue. Just like something that I've noticed, especially at Walton High School,
Okay.
is people live in their bubble.
Oh my God.
So much. And this is not a shot at anyone that goes to Walton. This is, I think, high schoolers in America in general.
Yeah.
But I'm going to specify Walton because Walton is a richer area.
Oh yeah.
By far.
Oh yeah.
You know, so I'm talking high middle class, some high class.
Oh yeah.
Upper class, sorry, is the right word, sorry. Upper class families. So these are the people we're talking about now. So just so it's very obvious.
Yeah.
These people, I'm included.
Yeah.
I'm included. So I'm not gonna not include myself. Very in people's, like, everyone's always in their own bubble. Everyone is like, my life, this needs to happen, this. If this guy doesn't talk to me, if this girl doesn't answer my Snapchat, hold on. I'm gonna get heated here, okay? If I don't get invited to this party, if I don't go to this football game, and Felipe came on here and he said this. He said, like, I don't go to football games, so I don't know. I've never been to one. It's just really weird. I've never been.
I haven't been to one this year at all. I really want to go, but I
haven't been to one.
You haven't been to
in 4
one.
years.
Okay.
But what I've heard is apparently people, no one specific, will sit there, take pictures, and just not watch the game. What is the point?
I swear.
Of going to the football game if you're not going to watch the football game, right? What is the point of going to a Braves game if you're not going to watch the Braves game? What is the point? Anyways, so my point is, like, what's the point of going to, like, obviously I don't go to parties, so I don't know, but what, like, kind of want to get into this topic of people at Walton. I need to stop saying at Walton. People
in high school.
In high school live their lives so selfishly.
I agree.
So selfishly. And I think there's a lot of reasons why. I think the first reason why is we're told when we go into high school, live it, you only have these 4 years, and then college is the same thing. So this kind of applies to high school and college. A little bit more high school, though. Live it, you have your 4 years, you'll never get these back. Just live it how you want, do whatever you want.
Oh, yeah.
This do it whatever you want and however you want mindset has got to be the biggest way to get yourself in the most trouble physically possible. You're giving people who are aged 14 to 18 freedom. I have a whole different idea about freedom.
I've heard some stories.
Real freedom is not, anyways, freedom to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
You have kids, the drinking age is 21, right? If you're 18, you're 3 years under that age. That's a pretty big gap.
Yeah.
If you're 14 and you're drinking, that's 7 years. That's one half of your past life away from drinking. And I never understand what the point in getting drunk is. That's a different story. I'm getting really off topic right now. Sorry. But, like, you know, people just want to live to satisfy themselves.
Yeah.
And I think that honestly goes back to, like, what we said about, like, not knowing the side of the world. I remember when I was in this mission in Africa, one of the people there told me, you know, in Africa there's an F for family. In America there's a me and an I for me and I. Wow. And I was like, dang.
That's crazy.
Dang. And it's so true. People in Africa, they don't live for themselves.
No.
They live for their children, their parents, their friends, their community.
Yeah, the people around them. Yeah.
Literally, people in Africa, in Egypt, everywhere except for the Western world, know people a mile down the road. I'm telling you, I can't name half my neighbors.
Yeah, I mean either. I only know one of our neighbors' families, and the only reason why I know them very well is because I dog sit for them sometimes. If that wasn't like,
you wouldn't know any of them.
No. I wouldn't know the dude that lives maybe 2 steps away from me. Which is
I don't
crazy.
know either people on either side of my house.
Wow.
Or in front. I don't know anyone.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah.
So it goes back to this, like, selfish lifestyle where it's like, you know, I'm going to live for me. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to do what makes me happy. And you don't think about anyone else.
Yeah.
And I think that's honestly a really big big issue with society, and it clashes with so many things like seniority, like a lot of issues we have, like, you know, kids not respecting elders.
Yeah.
Or, you know, the charity crisis right now. People are donating less and less every single year.
Yeah.
Why would you not donate? Anyways.
Anyways.
If you want to donate, sorry, I have to plug something really quick.
Okay.
If you want to donate, St. Mark American Coptic Orthodox Church is currently trying to build a new building. Link to donate is down below. I'm currently racing the rest of the high schoolers to 8K by myself, which is a really bad idea. But if you'd like to help me beat the rest of the high schoolers to 8K, please feel free to donate down below. Thank you very much. Anyways,
your sister kind of helped you there. I'm not gonna lie.
I have to, Shervin. No, don't. No, you got to do it. You got to do it.
No. That's amazing. Like,
yeah. So, again, go back to this like selfish thing. Like, I feel like people. I'm just gonna say Walton. It's easier that way. People at Walton are so selfish.
I feel like you're right. But like at the same time,
not everyone. Sorry.
No, yeah. You're right. Like everybody is selfish, but at the same time, you gotta think about we don't know what's going on in their life.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in anyone's life.
Yeah, no. I know. I'm not saying you're assuming that, but like I'm saying like some people might be to themselves and might care about themselves because of past experiences. Like they've opened up to people, and people have just taken advantage of that.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate people.
I feel like why would you ever do that to someone? I feel like that's such a cruel thing. Like someone will open up to you, someone will help you, someone will get you through a hard time, and then when they need you the most, you're just not there.
That's definitely a Walton thing to do,
dude.
And my issue with that is like, again, it goes back to like everyone's a human being.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a self-service center. Hey, you want to come tell me about something? That's not who I mean, not specifically me, but like that's not who people are. Yeah. We're humans. Like I help you, you help me.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not in a transactional way. I'm helping you, not expecting anything in return.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
there's like that
as
little,
a human, it should be the same. It's not that I'm helping you and I'm expecting something in return and you should help me specifically. As humans, we should help everyone and everyone around us to the capacity we can without hurting ourselves. Which means in the end, I will end up helping you at some point and you will end up helping me at some point.
Yeah.
Regardless, whether that's 10 years, 20 years, 30, whatever it is.
Whenever whenever you need it. Like,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Whatever capacity it is, whatever. At some point, there is a reciprocation of that love, right? Love goes one way. There's a reciprocation, right? And I think at Walton, that's missing a lot because a lot of people love to take advantage of each other. And for various reasons, for academic reasons, for social reasons, those are like probably the two main ones.
Yeah.
I would say like emotional/mental, but it kind of falls under social kind of. But, and it's like, you know, like as someone who loves talking, right? Loves talking. I talk to tons of people all the time. It's basically all I do. Yeah. It's been the biggest complaint by my teacher since I've walked into school. Like, and it sucks when you tell someone, you open up to someone and they're just like, take it, go.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
I'm blessed to have great friends, right?
Yeah. I do too.
Yeah. I mean, everybody should have, like, I feel like that's a very important thing.
I have a point to make about friends. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like, yes, you have a family. That's solidified.
Oh, yeah.
They're always going to have your back. Yes. But I feel like it's so great to have, I'm not saying have like 30, 40 friends.
This is my point. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, it
you
doesn't
need
matter.
2 or 3
exactly
good friends. That's it.
Yeah. Like
I'm really lucky that in church, right? We've all grown up with each other. I have a group of 20 people that I would consider siblings.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Like, really good friends. And I'm so lucky to have 20 people like that. But really, you only need, and even of those 20, there's only 2 or 3 or 4 that I like really talk to.
Yeah.
Like dated, like every day, like it's like a 2-way open conversation, like always like helping each other out. And I think all you need in life is 2 or 3 really good friends, about 10 to 15 acquaintances, and that's it. You don't need anyone else.
No, you're right. You're very true. Like friends will help you with things that like sometimes you're not very comfortable. Like in like situations where you're not, like, you should be comfortable telling your family and your parents. Like that's what I'm trying to get into, everything. But like things that that happening in school, especially, I feel like having a good like solid like circle or a trio or whatever you like, how many people you have, but a solid group of friends can get you through a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the best when it's like a 5-way connection, not like you with one person, then you with another person, you with another person.
Like the
It's
whole
it's
group
everyone,
is like on the same wavelength and know
Exactly.
what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Very
and I
true.
think at Walton, what that turns into, I'm using Walton as an example just because that's what I know.
Yeah, that's fine.
What it turns into is it turns into cliques,
Okay.
and then it turns into competitive cliques.
Cliques as in like.
Cliques as in like groups.
Oh,
Cliques
okay,
like
okay,
groups.
okay.
And it's something I've seen, bro. I've seen, especially in females, especially specifically. Boys just kind of get over stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's not a stereotype.
I
It's
feel like that's
true.
like a known fact. Everybody
Yeah,
knows.
it's
Like, yeah.
whatever. And it's like you'll see two groups of, let's say, like 7
Yeah.
just be at each other, just go at each other, and then something will change. Some guy will get thrown in the mix, or some other girl will get thrown in the mix, and all of a sudden the whole two groups
Just drama
mix up,
after
mix
drama,
up, mix up,
yeah.
mix up, and it's two separate groups,
Yeah.
or two mixes of the two groups, and then those two talking bad about the people in the other group, and then
Dude,
you
it's
get like a
just
third
so-
group,
It's
and
just too much sometimes.
and what that does is it creates this selfish nature, and
Okay.
it creates this, I'm going to go to parties so I can get drunk and look cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to football games so I can take pictures and look cool. And I've never understood why you would willingly go to a party knowing that there are people there that are not there for your well-being, and then drinking yourself into a state where you can't control yourself 100%. Anything less than 100% means you can't control yourself, okay?
Yeah.
You can't control yourself when you're not even supposed to be doing it, probably behind your parents' back.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be mad when something wrong happens.
Yeah.
I never got it.
There's like an expectation of like,
Oh, I'm just gonna have fun. No, you're not. You're going to a place where guys want to take advantage.
Wow.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Guys. Some guys are just like that. Some guys just all they want is sex, and I have a complete different opinion
that's
on
a
that.
crazy. That's a whole different.
That's a whole other
yeah.
topic. We could be here for hours straight. Like a lot of guys, that's all they want. That's all they're there for. And
I just don't
you put
understand that at the
yourself-
same time.
I don't
either.
get that.
Yeah.
I'm not defending that. But
No.
what I'm saying is, if you know that's there, why put yourself in that situation and then get mad or embarrassed or something happens and this doesn't work, whatever, when you know that's what you're putting yourself into.
Okay, on the topic of parties, right? Throwing away all the drinking and other substances, right? Just like the party itself.
I've never been, so you're gonna have to
So
really.
yeah, I got you. Like the people in the party, technically, when you're going to a party, you should know mostly who's there, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
I
But
never
I don't know,
understood
probably.
I never understood like someone being like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the party, but like I only know 2 people there. So how does that like? I get like the social factor, go meet new people, but at the same time,
Party is
personally-
not a place to meet new people. Okay, I hate this. Oh, I'm making business connections. No, you're not.
No, no. Business connections, hell.
No, you're not.
No. Heck no.
Like parties are not a place. If you want to socialize with someone when you're sober and you're at school or you're in a public place, go walk up to someone, say, "Hey, this is my name. What's your name?"
Yeah.
And start a conversation with them. I've met tons of people. I've never been to a party. I've always been sober. And I can still meet people. I can still have friends.
So most of the most of people that I've that I'm great friends with now, I've just met in class, really.
Yeah, you don't meet them in parties.
Yeah, no, I don't like the what I meant by like socializing in parties is like I mean like people that you already know.
Yeah.
And like people that you're already
There is
very familiar with.
There is a positive social
Yeah,
aspect
of course.
to parties. I'm not saying, but when parties start getting mixed with substances, with alcohol,
Yeah.
with sex,
It like gets
what
out of
is
hand
the
sometimes.
my question is, the real you might say, "Oh, I'm going to socialize." You're not going there to socialize. You're not. You're just lying to yourself. You're going there to either drink, have sex, or do stuff you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
Right? That's why you're going. The social part's a plus. You can be social like going to parties. You can go hang. And honestly, I don't know, but I'm going to assume that hanging out with your friends, going having a fun time, doing stupid stuff outside, is 120 more times than being stuck in a stinky basement with tons of people drinking alcohol.
Dude, it's crazy.
There's no way
very
that's
different.
fun.
It's very different. Yeah, of course.
It's not like I would consider fun, going out, going to Avalon, messing with random people,
Being
asking them
active,
stupid
like
questions.
something like, yeah.
Being active, going playing tennis, ultimate frisbee, football,
Yeah.
soccer, basketball. That stuff is fun. Playing video games even.
It's just generally more healthy for you. At the same time.
And it's more fun.
Yeah.
But
But
that's
yeah,
drinking.
I like, yeah, that's on that topic. Yeah, I like,
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like you say like socializing is not like, you're saying you don't agree with like people's like not socializing at parties. Is what you said?
no, I'm saying people don't go to parties to socialize. They're just lying about it. They make up that excuse. They're saying, "Oh, I'm going to socialize." You're not going to socialize. You're going to go drink. You're going to have sex. You're going to do hard crack.
Well, I feel like I don't know if I agree with that fully. I don't know if I agree with that fully. Okay. I feel like there's a good amount of people that go to parties just to hang out with their friends.
If your main goal was to hang out with friends, would you choose to go to a party and hang out with them, or you choose to do something else?
Well, I feel like
I don't know. Obviously, I've never been to a party. But
it's hard. It's hard, right?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, what I do more is go out and be active with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like tonight, like there's no party going on. We're just going like as a group of 6 people. We're going to go watch a movie. I feel like that's fun, and everybody's doing the same thing.
Yeah, you're not
and like
drunk.
no one's getting There's no chance of getting in trouble. Well, it depends on what
that's
you're
not
doing. I feel like
You
it
could
depends on
definitely
what
get in
you-
trouble at a
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, it depends on what you're doing. But I feel like you doing that is way better than like all the stupid shit that you could be doing.
And
at a
here's
party.
the thing that is wrong with there's a reason why the legal age to drink alcohol is 21 and older.
It's like the brain.
Because
Yeah.
Not,
right?
not even like the medical.
Oh, okay,
and the
okay,
physical.
okay. Yeah.
You're already stupid enough as a teenager.
Yeah.
You already do dumb enough things sober.
I agree.
How much more dumb things are you gonna do when you're, almost blackout drunk and you
Have no control of
have
yourself.
no control
Yeah.
and you're in a basement with bodies upon bodies?
I agree.
There's so many things that can go wrong.
Oh yeah.
And then you go out. Oh, I'm gonna drive home.
No. See,
What are you talking
That
about?
has got to be the stupidest, like most obnoxious, most ridiculous.
Obnoxious, like, bro.
It's
I never
just-
understand that.
It's so
Like, you're actually trying to die. You're trying to die.
outlandishly like stupid and selfish.
is
Selfish.
selfish.
I feel like,
You don't care about anyone else.
yeah, like, bro, you're on the road, and it's not just you on that
And
road.
Here's I'm also gonna say, doing substances. Okay, I'm nothing against alcoholics, people who are drug addicts. They are struggling and they need help.
Yeah.
But drinking and cigarettes and cigars and weed and all that stuff, crack, all that, is the most selfish thing to do. And here's why. A lot of times people drink or smoke or whatever to relieve themselves of their current state.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not talking about social drinking. Obviously, we already know what I know about that.
Yeah.
If you're drinking it not to a point to where you get drunk, this is not applicable really.
Okay.
I'm talking about drinking to a point where you're drunk or smoking to a point where you're high. I really don't know how much you have to smoke. Anyways. You're doing that for 2 reasons. Number one, you're either running away from your problems, which is selfish.
Yeah.
Okay? Face your problems, man up, or just grow up.
Just
deal
okay.
deal with what you have to deal with.
Yeah.
Procrastination is not the right way. The second thing that is wrong with doing these things, these extracurriculars, as I like to call them, and sex is included in that, to push away whatever. The issue with that is that, like, the reason why it's selfish is that you don't care about the people around you. When you're drunk, you have no capacity to care about people around you, so therefore you can't care about the people around you. When you're high, you definitely are not in the capacity to think about people around you, so you can't think about people around you. When you're just having sex like it's a physical toy and just going around sleeping with 20, 30 girls,
I don't agree with
and you're
that.
in high school,
Yeah.
crazy.
That's not.
Like, you do not care about the person in front of you that you're having sex with. You cannot convince me that you care. You honestly, if you're in high school and even if it's one person, you still can't convince me, but we can argue about that. When it passes 2, you don't care about the person in front of you. You don't. There is no.
Are you just talking about high school? Like in high school, like
I'm talking
life
about
in general?
before marriage.
Okay.
If it's more than 2, you can't convince me. If it's in between 0 and 2, we can have a conversation. More than 2, you can't convince me that you love the person in front of you. There's no way.
Like truly love them.
Truly love them.
Okay.
Because
now I'm getting out. Okay.
sex is a manifestation of the purest and most intimate form of love.
I agree. Yeah.
Okay. My opinion and the opinion of the church, sex only belongs in marriage. Completely different topic. But that's why I said we can have a conversation about 0 to 2, but past 2, you're just doing it because whatever reason it is. And so if you're doing it to get over someone else, really stupid idea. Or you're doing it to run away from your problems, or you're doing it as just a way to just, kind of get your emotions out. That's not what sex is for, first off. And that is so selfish because you have to require someone else to do it. You have to require someone else to do it. And so you've now completely, ignored the person in front of you, made a complete selfish decision to have sex. The same thing goes for masturbation. It is a completely selfish form of sex. It is only you and for only you. And that's a completely different story, but sorry, I'm really off topic today.
No, it's fine. I'm like listening.
Yeah,
I enjoy I enjoy listening to what you have to say. Yeah.
Thank you, man. But and so it's just like, why would you do that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with like some things that, like, for example, like going back to like the drinking and driving. Most selfish thing, in my opinion, that you can do, because you're putting other people in harm and you're putting yourself in harm. Yeah, but like I feel like people the alcohol takes away from yourself. Like, you don't really care. Like, you don't really think about what you're doing at that point when you're
and a lot of people see that as a positive. If you can't, someone told me on this podcast that I should smoke weed and do the podcast because I'd be more open. If I can't sit here sober and talk on a podcast, there is no need for me to have a podcast. Sorry, Joe Rogan, but there's no need for me to have a podcast. If I can't sit here,
Joe Rogan's a big kind
and talk about myself or talk about my opinions and be firm and confident in who I am. This goes back to like being Eastern, by the way. Mm-hmm. Why am I up here talking?
Yeah, let me tell you. People make their own decisions, right?
I'm not making decisions for anyone. I'm saying
I understand.
Yeah. I have to say that for
yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. I feel like people do what they do. There's like, I like, you say there's not a reason to like drink. You say there's not a reason, like an applicable reason to drink or smoke or whatever you're doing, right?
Yeah, drink to the point of getting drunk, smoke in general.
Okay.
And then sex before marriage. So
I feel like people, I don't know, I don't know what to think. Like, I feel like people do it
because everyone else does it.
I don't know. You think that people are just let me just start drinking because, like...
I 100% believe that people drink because other people around them drink. And I'll give you statistics to prove it.
Okay.
You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Okay, yeah.
I can tell what type of people you're around based on you. You can tell what people I'm around based on me.
Of course.
So if everyone around you, and this is something Felipe said actually on the podcast, if everyone around you
I saw this one, yeah.
determined rich, you will become determined rich.
Yeah.
If everyone around you drinks, you will drink. If everyone around you has sex all the time, you will. You will. Over time, it'll slowly weave its way into you. And I can tell you a personal example when it comes to cursing. I used to never curse.
How many years ago was this?
I was in like 10th grade before I started cursing.
Okay.
And around 10th grade, this is when COVID happened, I started to spend less time with my church friends. I started to spend a lot more time
with school friends.
Mm-hmm. And over time, I hear them curse, whatever. I just wouldn't do it, whatever. But over time, it slowly made its way into my vocabulary to a point now where I do it almost without thinking. And it's something I'm trying to reverse, and it's actually way harder to reverse.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's so hard. But it's that same thing where I would have never done that. Sure, cursing is not as bad as those other things, but to me, that was like the worst thing I've ever done.
Okay, let me say something real quick. Let me say something. So you're saying you being around it will eventually get you to do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
One bad apple will spoil good apples.
Okay, let me tell you. I've been in situations at parties, right? Or
I'm not isolating situations. I'm saying over time. Let's say you spend 1 year with people that bring girls over all the time and are smoking and drinking. After 1 year, you might start to think about it. Okay. Some things will take longer. Obviously, having sex with 48 girls might take longer than cursing. Obviously.
Yeah, let me say something real quick. But if someone is truly dead set on not like like practicing abstinence or
Yeah.
not drinking, not smoking, not doing any like stupid substances, right? They are strong enough as a human to not do it, is my opinion.
That is the biggest fallacy of all time. Saying that I am strong enough to do this.
What do you mean by fallacy?
So, also, I'll say the same thing. For me, cursing was something I never dreamt of doing. I was like, there's no way in the world that I will do this. There is no way. I put it at that level of sex and all that. I put it at that level.
Okay.
And obviously, it didn't work. But saying that you are strong enough and then putting yourself in a situation over and over again. It goes back to this party thing. I'm strong enough. I'm not gonna get, drunk. I'm not gonna let these guys do this to me. I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm a strong, independent woman. I'm not gonna let that happen.
Okay.
I'm not mocking any woman, but I'm just saying. The first party might not happen. Second one might not happen. Third time you might dabble a little bit with alcohol. Fourth time you might, get a little tipsy. Fifth time, you might start flirting with this guy, get a little bit more tipsy. Sixth time, you're probably gonna start getting a little bit drunk. Maybe start really getting things. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Over time,
It builds up, is what you're
it
saying.
will slowly build up.
Maybe I was wrong when I said the
Are
strong
you
thing.
Christian?
No.
Okay.
See, let me.
Well,
like,
I'm gonna use
yeah.
I'm gonna use a Christian example real
Yeah,
quick,
yeah,
but
yeah.
so the devil is smarter than all of us, and this is very apparent when he tempted Jesus 3 times, because he used the Bible's own words against Jesus, and Jesus obviously responded, whatever.
Okay.
He's not retarded. Okay, the devil's smart. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's not. If you see a boulder coming at you, you're gonna run out of the way of the boulder, but a lot of times you're not going to see a landslide. It slowly builds up,
you're
and then
right.
all of a sudden comes crashing down.
Yeah, you're right.
So in the same way, it's something that it's in a book called The Sayings of the Desert Fathers, which is a Orthodox book, and it's about, one of the sayings is, don't focus on the big sins, but be wary of the little. Was it the little? Like turtle, it wasn't, or like beware of the little sins. The actual words was like an analogy to something else, but I forgot what it was. Mm-hmm. So obviously, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I'm going to have I don't have to worry about, like, me personally, I don't have to worry about not having sex. I'm not going to. But what I need to be worried about is the little, sexual activities, the small ones that lead to that.
Yeah.
It's so, I don't have to worry about getting blackout drunk. I'm not going to get blackout drunk like this. Not the first time I drink, I'm going to do that. But I got to worry about that one sip of alcohol, that one beer, which is why my parents don't drink at all. Not because they can't control themselves from getting drunk, but they don't even want to put themselves in that situation. The same way why I don't go to parties. Why don't I go to parties? It's a personal decision. Why don't I go?
You could go, but you don't.
I could. I don't go. Why don't I go? Because I don't want to put myself in that situation to where if I go to one party, I'm not going to do anything. There's no way.
Yeah.
But if I go to 10, I might. If I go to 100, I'll definitely be doing all that stuff.
Do you think, like, personally, do you think you would?
Anyone.
Okay.
Anyone.
Oh, you're talking in general. Okay.
This is including me. Anyone.
Okay.
You can look at, monks in the desert, right? They are so keen on making sure they don't do the small things. If you ever go to like a Orthodox or a Christian monastery in general, you'll see the monks, like, they will repent over, literally, I'm not even joking, they will repent over being too loud in the monastery, talking too loudly.
I've heard that before. Like
they will do something called a metania. They will repent because they were too loud. They will repent because they scolded someone. Imagine how foreign that is. If I scolded you right now and said, no, you're wrong, I'm going to go repent. Why? Because they don't want the pride to get to them. You know how crazy that is? They don't want the pride to get to them. They stop the sin at its seed.
Okay.
Before it can become a full-blown tree, right? Trees don't just get dropped out of the sky. They start as a seed and they grow.
Yeah.
The same way our habits happen, right? It takes 21 days to develop a habit. It takes 21 times to develop whatever. The same way, I'm not going to go to that first party because I don't want that seed to be planted.
You don't want to start like something.
I don't want that seed to be planted just in case it gets watered.
Yeah.
I don't even want that seed there.
Yeah, you're right.
In the same way, for good habits, I want that seed. I want many seeds. I want as much water. I want as much sunlight.
So it can grow as fast as you can. Yeah.
Like, why do I go to church anytime I can? I was here this morning. We didn't have school. I came to church.
Yeah.
Why do I go Wednesdays, Fridays, whenever I can, Saturdays, Sundays? Why? Because I want that tree to be as strong as possible.
Yeah.
So that just in case if those little weeds come about, they can't take over my tree. My tree will stand firm. Whereas if I had a little sapling, you know, a little weed would kill it right there.
Yeah, somebody could take it over easily.
So I think that's why this idea of I'm strong enough to stop myself from doing this is you're lying to yourself, you know?
Now that I think about it, now that you, maybe I should like not say that. Maybe I was wrong.
No,
See,
it's okay, man.
because like I feel like I've told myself.
I used to be like that. I used to be like, no, I'm strong enough.
Yeah. I feel like I've like told myself, okay, this is kind of getting, you know what? Sure, why not? I'm gonna say something personal. Why not?
That's good.
So, weight loss, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've dealt with being overweight for a long time in my life. Started when I was like 10, probably. And I've been made fun of. I've been like told. I've been this. I've been that. And I've been helped too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like during the pandemic, I was at my peak. Like I was kind of like, because I was like not going out, wasn't going to parties, wasn't doing stupid shit, wasn't,
It's okay.
Sorry. I wasn't eating like bad food. I was eating like home cooked meals, right? And I was losing weight. I was kind of happy with like the way I was, right? I was really happy. I'm not saying I'm not happy now. I'm not at all.
Yeah.
But like I feel like I wish I had that back, right? I wish I had that mentality. Like I would always like wake up and like after like the online, like so I was like, okay, motivation stands like different ways. I wasn't really motivated to like click on the computer screen and go to class, but I was motivated to like help myself, right? Like COVID, all the classes were easy, as you knew, right? Like you would go in.
Well, easy. For me, it was hard.
Really?
I struggle with focusing completely. I didn't take notes in half my classes.
Well, okay, yeah.
So I struggled, but
Okay.
anyways, continue.
Yeah. Well, from like what I've heard, let me say like that. People, it was a breeze.
Really
It was a breeze.
easy,
Yeah. People would like play COD while like in social studies or something, right? I was one of them. Like I was grinding COD while I should have been listening to the lessons, but you know, I feel like now, like the habit thing, like when you're going back to it, and like what were we saying right before I started saying this? What were we saying?
Saying like you're strong enough is like
Strong enough. Yeah, there you go. Like now, like every time I try and losing weight, like I'm gonna say, yeah, I want to do this. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stop like eating junk food. I'm gonna like go to the gym, stuff like that, right? I feel like I should have like not like what I said was wrong. I'm sometimes I don't feel like I'm strong enough. Like all my friends will.
I mean,
will
you
go
aren't.
out. Yeah. Like I'll
like,
go.
hate to break it to you,
No,
but
I
you're
know. You're right. I'll go and like me and my friends will go out to dinner, and I'm like, oh, I'll choose something healthy this time. But no. It never
Happens every time.
Happens. And it sucks. Like,
Yeah.
but like, I feel like if I put myself in a situation where I can focus on myself more, you'll get it done.
So that's the opposite side to it. You can build good habits.
Yeah.
And good habits are, for every reason, 20 times harder to build than bad habits. Here's why. Putting yourself in good situations in 2022 in America
Oh, it's very
is
hard.
impossible.
Oh, yeah.
It's near impossible.
Yeah.
So something like Felipe said, you want to slim down, you want to get strong, you want to eat healthy, surround yourself with people
That want to do the same thing.
Who are slim, strong, and eat well. Surround yourself with people who are already there.
Yeah.
For example, when I started this podcast, right, I was a good speaker, but not the level I am now, and I will obviously continue to get better. I've always hated talking to adults until I started a podcast.
Really?
Because now that I have I would, but I just hated doing it. Now that I have a podcast, I appreciate the art of talking, the art of, listening. And the best way to grow yourself is reading and surrounding yourself with people who are in that space and listening to. So surrounding yourself is not just people. It's what you listen to. It's what everything you put into your five senses, that's what you surround yourself with. So if you want to lose, we're going to use the lose weight example. You want to lose weight, surround yourself with people that are already at what you want in a person. Surround yourself with those people. Be open with them, obviously.
Yeah.
Surround yourself with, listening to things that talk about weight loss, whatever. Help use those people to help motivate you to go to these places. Put yourself in a situation, build your schedule, make yourself organized. Do what those people would do. You think people that look like that just go about their day, wake up or whatever.
No, they have like a whole
every
routine.
single thing planned to the minute, every single meal planned to the gram. So you want to be like that. You want to look like them. You got to be like them.
Yeah.
You know, you want to, like for example, like someone like for me who's doing a podcast, I want to be like, you know, Logan Paul's doing his podcast, Joe Rogan doing his podcast. I want to be like them in the podcast. I got to work like them outside. And it's the same way. So if I want to be spiritually sound at church, I got to work like it. I got to show up to church. I got to read the Bible. I got to actually pray. I got to actually learn, you know, the hymnology. I have to learn theology. I have to do these things. You know, you think all these people who are spiritually sound, you think I just woke up like this? No. I put in the work.
Yeah.
You know, and these people, they put in the work. So it's the same thing where it's like, again, it goes back to the selfish mentality. We have the selfish mentality that everything will be handed to us. And we never go out and seek it.
Until one time you do,
Until
and then
you
you'll
do.
realize
Exactly.
that it's way different than what you think. Yeah.
When you ask questions, you get answers. People love helping people when they get asked. You should help people in general, but people love helping people when they get asked. So ask.
Yeah, I know.
That's my thing.
You know, like, okay, back to the tennis thing, and like when we were talking, right? That's why, like, I started playing tennis. Like, I feel like I saw my friends playing it, right? And like, it started with my wheeler friends, and I like brought it to like, I didn't start it with start a trend or anything. I just like, hey, we should go play tennis, and then it became like a weekly thing, you know. And going back to the weight loss and everything, I feel like the biggest way and the best way to like help yourself like be active is doing something that you like.
Oh yeah. In general, if you want to improve yourself in any way, do it in a way you like.
Yeah.
You know,
and
that's
like,
not saying it'll be easy.
No.
But
it'll be better.
Exactly.
It'll help your process go by smoother. I feel like if I get my cardio done playing tennis, I would a million times rather playing 2 hours of tennis than running
for 30 minutes.
It's like, it's more time consuming, but I enjoy what I'm doing. You know, like, let's be honest, who like true, like there's people, but like when you ask the average person,
like 70% of people don't like running.
You're like, bro, like, do you want to go out and run a mile? Why would I do that?
And the thing is, like, running a mile is like 15 minutes at max, like 15 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever.
Yeah, but it's still like, you know.
And I would so much rather go play basketball for an hour and a half, play tennis for 2 hours than do that.
What?
She's the weird 30% that likes to run.
Oh, she likes to run?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like, okay, well, still, people like running. It's a sport, like track and stuff like that. Yeah.
Obviously, but it's getting to the point. They like running, they're going to run.
Yeah.
You know, you like tennis, you're going to play tennis. You know, you do stuff that you like that will help you to achieve your goals.
Yeah, I feel like that's like not just like, I feel like that's like with so much things.
In everything.
Yeah.
For example, I wanted to learn and I wanted to talk, like learn how to talk professionally.
That's why you started a podcast.
Yeah. You know, and now that I started a podcast, it's kind of switched. Now I want this podcast to grow, so I start talking professionally.
Yeah.
It's kind of reciprocating, you know. I want to like really pursue my passion in like theology and in Christology and all that. So I go do it. You know, I read books that support me. I go ask questions. I have debates with people, conversations with people. I listen to music that's purely church music.
Okay.
We've been over this, you know. So it's just, you know, you do what leads you to your goals. It's very simple.
I feel like, I agree 100%.
And I think if you do that, you will find a way that's less selfish. And it's the same thing. Like you think about the people. I'm just connecting this all back. You think about the people in the Eastern world. They do everything for their goals. Their goals are just not as complex as ours.
Their goals are like
food on the table,
water,
give me
support
clean
my
water,
family. Yeah.
Support my family. Those are their goals, and they work every single thing they use for their goals. That's why the F in Africa is for family, but here in America we don't do anything for our goals. We do anything for our pleasure. So you gotta get out your comfort zone, do something for your goals.
I feel like you're right, 100%.
And that's all I think, right?
Yeah.
It's a great way to wrap it up, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was amazing.
That was pretty good.
You did that perfectly, actually. Like, I was like, wow.
Oh, man.
How long was that?
I think like an hour and a half.
Really?
Or maybe just an hour because we started hour 20.
It's been an hour?
I'm telling you, time flies on the podcast. Hour 15.
That's kind of crazy. I feel like since I didn't think I was even here for an hour, like in general, since I parked my car, I was like, there's no way. But that's crazy.
Been here for like an hour 30.
Wow.
Yeah. It's been Keep It 99. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, subscribe, like, share, comment. That's all really.
That was fun.
Have a good day, guys. God bless. See you.
Peace out.